authentic items found in this house and used back in those days. Like this was for the neck, this one was for the hands, that one was for the legs. For two slaves, they'll put one in one slave leg and the other one in the other slave leg so that nobody can do no movement without the other. And these rifles, they were used by the security guards. And remember, I was telling you that the security guards were blacks. That's why you see the charms here. Bless you. That's why you see the charms here, the amulets, and the mystic protections. You can see them better on this one here.
You said the security guards were blacks?
Yeah.
And what was the motivation for?
The reason was that they were choosing them among the slaves because they know how to speak the tribal languages. So if some slaves were trying to do something, those security guards were able to listen and just go and tell it to the, you know.
But why would it just be a warring tribe that they would have?
Oh, I'll tell you.
Okay.
You see? So you see the rifle here with the green. And also, these rifles that you see here, they were the price of one man during the slave trade. Because the main source of the slave trade used to be the prisoners from the tribal wars. When the Europeans came to Africa, they realized that in Africa we have many, many tribes. So they took advantage of that. And they came up with the idea of dividing and conquering. They were just going to the coast and put the tribes into war. And the tribe which won the war used to keep the defeated tribe prisoner. And they used to have Catholic missionaries living on this island. Unfortunately, French and British, they were the ones going to the coast in contact with the tribal chiefs along the coast, collect the prisoners from the tribal wars and bring them to this island in order to sell them as slaves. So when the Catholic missionaries used to go to the coast, they used to exchange with the tribal chiefs along the coast, one man for one rifle like this. And the reason why they used to do that is to encourage them for more tribal wars. Because more wars, more rifles, more prisoners, more people to bring here and use them as slaves. So it was just a strategy to get as many slaves as possible. And also, if the slave trade was possible in Africa, we have to face it as Africans. It's because of the collaboration of the tribal chiefs that we had back in those days along the coast. They were the ones who opened the doors for the Europeans to come here and make slavery possible. But if you look at history, those tribal chiefs, they really did not have any choice.
Exactly.
The reason was that they only had two options back in those days. Either they collaborate with the Europeans. If they don't want to collaborate with them, those Europeans will just go see their rival tribes, furnish them with rifles like this and tell them, go and get these people. So either they collaborate or they become slaves. So if you were in that position, what would you do? You see? Also, the slave trade was stopped in different periods depending on the Europeans. Like the French, they were the first ones who stopped the slave trade during the French Revolution. The French Revolution started in 1789. But in 1794, Napoleon decided to abolish the slave trade in all the French colonies. But Napoleon had a girlfriend named Josephine de Beauharnais. And Josephine was a Creole from Martinique. She was born in St. Lucia, but she grew up in Martinique. And she was half black and half white. She was also owning many slaves that she didn't want to get rid of. Even Napoleon stopped the slave trade. She also had many friends like her, so they got together and charged Josephine to go and talk to Napoleon to restart slavery, because they did not want to get rid of their slaves. Unfortunately, that's what Napoleon did. He restarted slavery in all the French colonies because of that woman named Josephine. But Napoleon was finally defeated in the Battle of Waterloo in 1815 in Belgium. That's when he lost his power. It led to the Vienna Congress, the redesigning of the borders of Europe. So finally the slave trade continued until 1848. But it's when Napoleon restarted slavery in all the French colonies that Haiti, which was a French colony, you know where Haiti is located, right? So Haiti was a French colony. When Napoleon restarted slavery in all the French colonies, all the slaves in Haiti, they did not want to go back into slavery. So they were led back in those days by a man called Toussaint Louverture. Toussaint Louverture was a former slave, so when he was freed, he joined Napoleon's army. And he's the one who led the campaign of Haiti. When Napoleon restarted slavery in all the French colonies, all the slaves in Haiti, they stood up behind that man called Toussaint Louverture, and they started fighting against Napoleon to stay free. So they fought against Napoleon for many, many years. finally Napoleon decided to give them their independence on January 1st, 1804. So Haiti became the very first black republic, and they got their independence on January 1st, 1804. But unfortunately, the leader, Toussaint Louverture, was finally caught by Napoleon's soldier, so they decided to deport him in France, where they put him in isolation in a fortress. And they just let him die of cold and hunger. They just starved him until he died. It's a sad story, but that's how he ended. But at least Haiti got his independence before that. Also, in the meantime, in 1807, the British, they decided to sign a treaty to stop the slave trade in the Atlantic coast. Because back in those days, the church was putting a lot of pressure on the British. They were feeling guilty, so they were pressuring to stop the slave trade. And also some freedom fighters like William Wilberforce, John Wesley, John Newton, they were fighting for the abolition of the slave trade. So by 1811, any British who was caught buying or selling slaves in the Atlantic coast was automatically judged by the king and sentenced for deportation in Australia. That's when they start shipping people to Australia, and many people shipped over there were slave buyers and slave traders. It's only afterwards that they start bringing prisoners, but the very first people shipped in Australia were slave buyers and slave traders. And that's the reason why also when they went to Australia and they found the Aborigines people over there, they couldn't get along with them because they thought that they were the reason why they were shipped over there. But that's another story.